Hey guys, Philosopher here, and I'm actually recording this video from my honeymoon. And does my wife want to say anything? You want to come in and say something, honey?
This is Mrs. Philosopher now.
Exactly right. And she's the reason I'm here recording this video, giving you guys an update on DD5. I've gotten a lot of comments from people. And I want to let you know, I hope you've enjoyed the few videos I posted so far. Those I recorded before the wedding. I have been recording on either my phone or my iPad footage of each one of the nodes. And I'm going to release over time. I'll release video. I will try to turn those into videos and show you guys the notes, because I know people are eager to see what the nodes look like, so you can help plan your own teams. But I figured at this point, what I'll do is I'll give you an update of the race. I will show you the node I'm on now. We'll do a few attacks so you guys can see how my team's working. This is where the race is right now. Tadano is about to take the victory here in spot number 1, and I want to congratulate him first of all. He put an insane amount of resources into this, and I know there were some additional teal gear offers today that must have given him the additional gear he needed. He was waiting to get into legendary, and he got that gear. So congratulations to him. I imagine that he's going to be able to complete that. On my end, obviously, I've been focused more on my wedding and honeymoon, not on this. And I have been, really focused on managing my gear. I am currently on the last global node, and as soon as that's done, I will enter Cosmic. I'm not going to give away sort of where I stand for the rest of it. But it is what it is. I did get past, so just to give you the last videos that I made for you, I was still working on I was still on the first few nodes here, where we brought in Sharon Carter, and we were completing these first few nodes. We talked a little bit about this Adam Warlock mishap where I ran out of miasma, and I ended up just randomly in the morning getting 2 miasma. And so what I had done in these unrestricted nodes is really I actually brought in some characters, the 3 secret Avengers that I knew I'd bring into global, and I waited, instead of committing myself to particular city characters, I waited to see what happened with this miasma situation, and I got lucky with that. I had actually bought some of those ridiculous orbs that they have, the new orbs. I don't know what they're called, the Dormammu orbs, and they were just awful. I got nothing out of them. I mean, the odds on them are ridiculous. They're a horrible value even for whales, krakens, whatever, these orbs. But I just happened to, in the store when I was refreshing, I happened to get both of the miasma I needed. So I was able to bring in Cloak and Dagger, and City was pretty easy as a result. I'm going to show you guys the number of attacks that I've done per node before we get into the last node, so you guys can see. So it took me 2 attacks on this node, with a pretty suboptimal team there. We had Sabretooth and Anti-Venom, hanging out with Adam Warlock and the 2 of the Secret Avengers. That one easily could have been a one-shot. This took 6 attacks. That's where I started switching. I switched halfway through to Sharon Carter instead of Sabretooth, and then this one took 5 attacks. I realize that a lot of you like to one-shot nodes. You don't get any additional rewards for that, and that's really not what racing is about. In other words, what held me back here partly was obviously my honeymoon, my wedding, but part of it is just gear and how much you're, there's a certain number of teal gear offers that all of us were getting. I'm going to talk more after I complete this about the race and how I manage my gear for the race, and how I think Scopely made some mistakes and how they did this. It was actually a very kind of a letdown in certain respects in terms of how they put it together. But in addition to that, there's just how you spend your war credits and your, the gold and stuff that you have. So 5 attacks is pretty low. This is, this was pretty easy, I would say, overall. So City, I went in with Cloak and Dagger. And then I originally was planning to skip Symbiote Spider-Man. I was going to just bring in Anti-Venom and bring in a lower cost alternative to save gear. And that's what I did. Misty Knight was purely about saving gear. She requires a low number, 0 health catalyst, for example, and so very, very low gear requirements. I was going to do that here, but I ended up, just because of some of the struggles I had on the early nodes, and I could see how far Tadano and my alliance mate Beta Ray Bill were. I figured, okay, I'll bring in the better character, and I had some extra bio gear, so I brought this, and this was pretty easy. I mean, I wasn't trying to optimize anything. This was me when we were driving to our honeymoon. Prasad, my my wife was driving, and I just was like just doing some attacks, which I've recorded. This one also took 3 attacks. Like I said, not optimizing my strategy, just blowing through the nodes. Cloak and Dagger pretty easily destroyed these nodes. This one took 5. And then, then for global, my team essentially was I already had my team pretty much built. I had Secret Avengers, plus I had Sabretooth already built. So I went with Lady Deathstrike as the 5th. She's a pretty good deal when it comes to gear. She's not too bad on gear. I actually was considering some other even lower cost alternatives, but I decided to go with her. This one took me a little bit more. There's some couple tough waves, and here I am on this one, and this one's taking me a little bit more. Where in terms of attacks, I guess this one, you guys can see where I'm at. All right, so I'm on attack 5 now. So we'll try to attack number 6 right now. I'll try that live on this video. We'll go through. You can see what 9 looks like, and then when this is done, I'll go into Cosmic, and I'll be recording those. Like I said, I'll try to continue to give you guys updates on the as much as I'm able to, but obviously my honeymoon comes first. And if I'm not able, if the footage is not great for one of the nodes, well, I'll end up just on my second run recording the nodes as I go through them, just to make sure. I know a lot of folks are interested in looking at how the waves spawn and all of that stuff, so you can make the decisions for yourself about what teams to bring in and who to target and all that. So let's go for that. And obviously I'm still going to be pushing through to try to at least get second. I always said if you ain't first, you're last, and so that's why I said all credit to Dono for that. I finished 4th last time, so second or third is a little bit better, but not good enough. So let's head into global here. So this is my team here, and I will say Lady Deathstrike has performed pretty well. You can see my ISO setup. I switched Sharon Carter here to Skirmisher because we're not in a raiding situation, and this way I've got a lot of vulnerables that Lady Deathstrike uses. And this is a pretty tough. This has been a pretty tough node overall, and there is a 6 red star doom in here, and so that's going to be pretty tough. That I still have not killed. So this is sort of the end run of global. If I one-shot this, maybe I'll continue in Cosmic on this video, but most likely we still got 11 enemies here, so I don't know if I'll be able to do that in this video. All right, so realistically here, I'll probably go here with the turn rewind. I mean, this is actually a fantastic ability. The things that I really like about Lady Deathstrike are not only the turn rewind, but the way in which she, when she gets low health, she has these evades and so forth that go out to really keep her alive, death proof. And the Secret Avengers have been fantastic. They're really a gear, efficient in terms of gear requirements, and they've done very, very well. Now, Tadano and Beta also brought in Doom. I just didn't have the extra miasma for that, in part because I misclicked on Adam Warlock. But even before that, I was not planning to bring in Doom. I didn't think he was worth the cost, and my bet was actually going to be that the Secret Avengers plus two sacrificial lambs, scrubs, whatever you want to call them, we're going to do fine. So we've already lost Sharon Carter here. I'm probably going to restart this one Now, I know when I did the stream before, I had a lot of people say to me like, Philosopher, this is boring. Why do you quit out all the time? And the truth of the matter is that the goal here is actually to have a very solid attempt. So back when I was racing DD4 and I didn't even have full Stark Tech, I would literally, my Black Widow would never land her stun because I had so low a Stark Tech, so I would literally restart it over and over and over and over again to get the one time the stun would land. Or I think she would get speed up 60% of the time, so I would restart it over and over and over again until everyone got speed up. And that's usually how you do this. And now that I am doing these videos for you guys, I give myself a little more slack to having an imperfect start. But if something goes wrong, like there, Sharon Carter died pretty quickly, you really want to restart it and wait for a circumstance where, you're losing character you care less about. I like having Sharon Carter alive. Her stun and ability block is very helpful and important here. So there we go. Let's see. You can see this has actually been probably the easiest wave. And that was fortunate that he cloned a trooper. So, yeah, I'm very fortunate about that. So, there's been some waves here that are just brutal. There's one wave that, and I will show you, I will make another video with this, where there was 2 invisible women plus a Scarlet Witch and others, and it was just all the and a Squirrel Girl. It was just all the healing and the debuff removal was just very, very tough. You can see that obviously I have a huge Captain Sammy 7 red stars, but he does a lot of work here, and you can see all these buffs going out. I've already lost Captain Sam. So, all right, this is not a great attempt. This gives you a sense of what I'm dealing with in here, though. It's basically you're starting over and over again trying to get this. Obviously, I have a lot less time on my hands right now than Tadano and Beta do. So, it is what it is. It's a bit of a handicap. And I'm just going to do my best with that, in between when my wife's doing other things or stuff like that, okay? But that's basically what I'm facing here. I got through most of the tough, I feel like a lot of the tough waves here, but there is, at the very end, you have the 6 red star Doom that's going to pop, and so I'm trying to be strategic and get rid of the Sinister in advance. There's a couple other Sinisters, so I think this can be a very challenging one. Hopefully I can goad them into cloning my shield troopers like they did that time. That's really what it's going to be. And so, for me, right now, I'm still going to try my best to race here. I think in terms of gear, where I'm at, I'm in a good spot. The issue is just my time. And, there are some others that are behind me. Obviously, I have shot up this ranking quickly because my issue is really just having the miasma in the beginning and then obviously being very busy with my wedding. But you guys can see what I'm dealing with here. All right, so this is my day 2 update from Dark Dimension 5. We'll have more videos to come showing you guys the nodes. So if you like this video, smash that like button, subscribe to this channel. If you have comments or questions, cheers, jeers, anger, happiness, whatever it may be, you can put it in the comments below or go to my Discord. That's linked below as well. You can also go to my Twitch stream. That is linked below too.